This is the Big Small Business Show, and we're in studio with Marinda Van Zyl from Heatwave Story Agency. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So before the break, we were talking about the Instagram and those types of things and the different naming that you want to continue along those lines?
Yes. Do you think there's any risk in attaching so much of your brand on your personal capacity, especially on LinkedIn and Instagram?
Possibly.
Okay.
I must be honest, I haven't given it much thought. I do find that when someone runs a smaller company, I like to, as a consumer, to see who they are. Okay. That's something that I quite enjoy. Okay. And so I think that's probably the reason why I do that, but I can change that.
Okay.
So you've been thinking about this for a while, you've grappled with it, sleepless nights and what have you. What's your intuition or your thinking about the solution and the problem?
I think the problem for me is definitely I've been fear-based for a long time. So I know that I've made decisions out of fear and not out of a growth mindset. So I don't want to be stuck in that fear cycle anymore. I want to break free from that. But it is a little bit tricky because you do take chances, and because cash flow is a problem in a small business, you're limited to the kind of chances that you can take. So I feel a little stuck at the moment, honestly.
Okay. And unpack that fear. Specifically, what aspects are you fearful about? Go a bit more granular with this fear.
Yeah.
Let's open it up.
I think every entrepreneur fears growth, even though every entrepreneur wants growth. And so, in the beginning I was scared to do video because I was worried that I wouldn't have the right skills. It's a different skill set, it's audio, you've got to be so careful with audio and all of that. And because I'm so comfortable on the photography side and I'm really good at it, but I was comfortable there and I wanted to stay comfortable. But I have been pushing myself a little bit, and so now I am producing videos and it's getting good feedback and clients are happy with that.
So the fear is about a skill set in something new.
That was the fear originally.
Right.
Now it's about the actual growth. So if a client wants a larger project, having to find the right freelancers, and even though I have people at the moment, you never know. It's a control issue, I think. I like controlling everything.
Certain sense that you can see she's OCD.
Absolutely.
And just to build on that, because you don't have the capacity to do the marketing yourself, have you considered outsourcing the marketing function to a different business or hiring someone to come and work on the marketing for you?
I hired someone to do cold calling for me a couple of years ago, and she worked there for more than a year. And it was not the right solution, no.
Where are you most comfortable at? Are you comfortable going out and prospecting and seeing new clients? You are?
Yes,
You don't have a fear about that?
I don't have any self-confidence issues. I can absolutely do that, and I'm confident in the product that I offer.
Right.
So yes, I can.
And so which one do you enjoy more?
Probably the production.
Probably the production.
And actually sitting with a client and brainstorming and strategy and how do we do this and how do we make this work for your business and how.
Because to go to business development means you have to leave the kids there to.
I know.
And it's control, right?
Yes.
You have to let go. Okay.
It's a problem.
So it's not really a cash flow issue. It's more in funding this. Whilst it's there, it's more a control aspect.
It's definitely a control.
Have you tried before? Have you tried and got stung? Where you tried to hire someone to do more of the production weight so you can go out and sell?
I've had situations where I've hired freelancers and the work comes back and it's not to my standard.
Right.
But my standard is very high.
Right.
But the reason that I get the kind of clients that I get is because my standard is so high, and so I'm not willing to compromise on that.
So you had one bad experience, you wrote it off. Okay.
Let's say 2 or 3, I don't know, over the years it's been, that work comes, not a lot, but you look at this and you're like, but this is not my standard. Now I have to send this to a client and that doesn't make me happy.
Right. So how do you think you can overcome that part about your standards?
Well, it's not an option to drop the standards.
No?
So I would need to perhaps investigate different freelancers or a different way of meeting or engaging with freelancers to
assess them.
Yes, and the higher standard, of course.
And what about setting like some kind of protocol or process or something like that? Do you have that?
I don't.
So you're leaving them a little bit directionless.
Well, I brief them for the particular shoot that they're going to, but besides that, yes, it's probably not.
What's your sense?
Well, just on preparedness, just to off-ramp a little bit, we're looking for bigger clients. On preparedness on your corporate profiles, your website, all the different materials, have you looked at what bigger companies are looking for outside of word of mouth? Because if a friend or an ex-colleague comes to you, they will tell you everything that they need. But have you looked at what the other corporate companies need, the bigger companies? Like business profiles, any kind of certifications, any?
No, I haven't really.
Because that would be interesting to look at.
But what I'm sensing is that, sometimes entrepreneur comes onto the show and says, I have this challenge and this problem. And you look below the surface, the problem is actually...
Problem.
So as we've discovered, on the surface, your problem is attracting clients, correct? But below the surface, you have no self-confidence issues about going out and finding them and going there. It's letting go internally and your fear of abandoning the control issues.
Yes.
That's holding you back from getting more clients, correct?
Well, there's that, and then there's the time issue.
Yes.
My time is limited,
Yes, yes.
So yes.
There are some ways to automate your social media and your digital platforms. Have you tried any? And have they helped?
No,
Maybe
I do everything.
scheduling posts or...
I mean, I've had a social media schedule and that kind of thing, but I kind of like saying off the fly what happens in my head, So if something is happening or if I'm on a shoot or whatever, I do the background,
Have you looked at other types of businesses that are in your trade that have got multiple teams and doing this? Have you observed them?
I have observed them.
And what do they do differently from what you do in regards to this production, letting go, control issue?
Well, it seems to me that most of the companies who do this just hire any freelancer and they send any freelancer and they charge minimal rates. And then, I honestly don't really know how they get the good clients, or perhaps they get them and lose them because I don't know if,
Isn't the key some kind of a production, project management, coordinating person? Isn't that
that could work?
Isn't that the key in this type of thing? Because the freelancers can come and go, but there's got to be some kind of controller there, right?
Yes. At the moment, that's me.
Yeah,
yes.
right. In an ad agency, they will call them like the traffic cop or something like that.
Yeah.
But in the movies, there will be a director, right?
Yeah.
So the director controls the quality and the process and all those types of things. You are partly doing the work, but you're also the director in all of this, the producer and all of it, right?
That's right. Yes.
So don't they have people like that?
Yes, but you'd have to hire someone like that.
Yes. And what's the possibility of hiring them on per project, also on a freelance basis versus permanent?
I could look into that. I haven't. For me, it's all about relationship building. So it would have to obviously be the same person every time. So I could look into that.
Or maybe a toolkit. So instead of hiring someone, have your standards on some kind of documentation so that when you hire a freelancer, I know we're not doing the suggestions now, you hand that over to them.
Yes.
And then you don't have to hire someone and it's always the same and it's always there.
But I think it's a clue that we should take a break
Yeah.
and be back with our summaries right after this.